welcome back to Specs and Blazers. Happy New Year. I hope you guys are following all your resolutions thus far. It's gonna be a great year, you guys. We're gonna kick buttocks, okay? I'm super excited for this year, but let's get right into it. I'm gonna do a get ready with me with you guys. I'm gonna do my makeup and have some discussion with you guys. You guys, the one question that I get the most in my inbox, and I mean almost on a daily basis, is how I started as a blogger and how I sustain myself full-time as a blogger and have 4 employees. So let's get started. Oh, before I get started, you guys, look at this mirror behind me. Look at this mirror. It is stunning. I got it from Apartment 2B. They're a brand that sells like beautiful accent furniture, and I ordered it from them, and they are generous enough to give you guys 15% off their whole website, and I'll link that below. I just wanted something different in my house. Like, my house is all white. Someone called it a mental institution the other day, and I was like, I have to add more color to my home. So I partnered with them and I got this. I think it's gold. Is that gold? Platinum? It's a different color, but all the white that's in my house, that's all I know. So let's get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my eyebrows. I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil. So how did I get started in blogging? To be honest, I feel like when you work in something creative, it's not, this is not to sound like some kind of esoteric BS, you don't actually work in it. It kind of happens to you. It falls on you. Does that make sense? So I came to LA with the intention of just visiting, and you guys know the story. I decided to just stay and figured out what I was going to do here. And my end goal was still to be a lawyer. I wanted to practice international law. But then I got a job in fashion because I love clothes and I wanted free clothes. I mean, who doesn't want free clothes? So I wanted free clothes, so I applied at American Apparel. And at the time, to work at American Apparel, it was very elite. But you know, we had all these rules, like you couldn't shave your armpits, you couldn't shave your legs, and you had to be like really skinny and like just like very pretty. And I think it was like my very first act of rebellion from my parents. I just wanted to work in fashion, but I didn't just want to work in fashion. I wanted to work in fashion that's like extreme. So I got a job at I applied for American Apparel and I got a job there, and I was flabbergasted. When I was working at American Apparel, I was 25. That was like 5 years ago. And I was homeless because your girl did not know. My parents never taught me about savings. They never taught me about money or how to take care of myself. So I would just sleep on couches. I was like a crusty gypsy. Okay, any couch I could find, that's where I would sleep on. But American Apparel was so fun. I had such a blast working there because there was a company that just had no rules, no regulations. They were very anti-corporate, and it just really taught. As crazy as that company was, I learned so much from there. I got fired from American Apparel 5 times, and each time I would go to a different store down the street, reapply, and get in the same company, get a higher position. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my eyebrows now. I'm just gonna do like a little small cleaning. I'm using the Lancome. This is my trusted concealer. It's Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear. It's French. Anyway, so yeah, I was working at American Apparel. I would apply, but I always just was like, this is not for me. I wanted to do something different. I have, and I've admitted this many times, I have a problem with authority. I don't like people telling me what to do. I've always known that I had to work for myself, but I just didn't know how to work for myself because in my essence, I'm a creative, you know, and creatives were very sensitive people. We're definitely very sensitive of our art. So I was working at American Apparel doing visual merchandising, And anytime I would style the mannequins on the windows, all these little kids called Dove girls at the time, 14, 15-year-old kids, will come up to me and say, that's not how you style that. And I will lose my mind because, you know, as creatives, we don't like to be challenged. That's the honest truth. That's why we're creatives, because we create what's in our head, what's sensitive to us, you know, or what how we see things. And while I was doing that, my best friend Valencia, Johnny Valencia, and I've said that before, he's the head of Vivian Westwood. And keep in mind, you guys, he and I were homeless simultaneously. So we would just like, we were vagabonds. We would just like walk around Los Angeles. We would crash parties. We had, I always say this, there's no recipe to success with this like ruthless behavior of not caring what anyone thinks and just doing what you think is right for you. We would crash into parties and just like introduce ourselves like we were important. we would just network. Networking is key. So we were just like vagabonds, and I was like, Yoni, why don't we start a blog called what was it called? It was called Los Angeles Fashion Chronicles. We would take pictures of each other and post it on Tumblr. And then that didn't really work out, so I started mine on Tumblr called Barely Dressed. Keep in mind, you guys, I didn't even have a laptop. I used to go do this at the library. And then one day I finally got a laptop. I called Yanni. I remember exactly where I was. I was sitting down on Barnes & Noble's on the ground, on the floor there, just reading books. I always read a lot of books when I was homeless because I didn't have anywhere to go but Barnes & Noble's. And I was like, Yanni, what can I name my blog that would be catchy? And he was like, name it the 2 things you love the most. I was like, okay. This is not matching, you guys. It's not matching, but it's gonna just have to do. It's like, just name it the 2 things you love the most. Name it jackets and sunglasses. So I was like, jacketsandsunglasses.com. I was like, I don't know about that. And then I was like, okay, jackets and spectacles and jackets. He's like, that works. I was like, well, spectacles and blazers? I love blazers, and that's like another name for jackets. He's like, yeah. And then we just kept shopping it, and I got the specs and blazers. And right there and then I bought my domain name. I had the money to buy food or buy my domain name, and I bought my domain name because I was like, I would rather starve, because I just had this instinct, this belief, this weird thing that it was gonna be something, and I wasn't sure how, but I just knew it was gonna be something. And that's what I think that's what sets people that are successful apart from people that are not. It's just this believe in yourself, like that no one could tell you otherwise. I'm using the Naked Skin to do my concealer for my under eye. My advice for everyone when you first start your blog is to put every penny you have into your blog. Building a website is very expensive. I don't know anything. I'm not good with technology at all. So I had to hire someone out, right, to do it for me. And that cost me so much money. But I was willing to skip meals and not eat because I knew that I wanted to get there. I knew there was a place that I was going, and I couldn't stop until I get there. I started taking it seriously after that. I built a media kit, which as a blogger, every blogger needs this. You have to get a media kit, which shows every brand you've ever worked with, or you want to work with, or what you can offer a brand. And your stats, you have to keep up with your Google Analytics constantly, and that's why it's important to be on WordPress, at least for me. So yeah, I got on WordPress, and it was the first year that I started blogging, not full-time. I was blogging part-time because I still had a job. I was working as an in-house styling, and I was still trying to go to law school, and it just wasn't, I knew my heart was not in law at all, at all. But I was still trying to please my parents terribly. So I was still trying to go to law school, and I was working at this boutique. And while I was at the boutique, I remember the lady that I worked for one time, I was like, I cannot wait to sit front row. I want to sit front row at a show in New York one day. Oh, that would be amazing. And she literally looked at me and she's like, that's not possible, girl. Those seats are for elite bloggers. They're just like those rich kids. Like, she said more than that, but I don't want to say it. Like, she said something just, she was like, it was blatantly racist, pretty much saying that I couldn't sing front row. And me being as impulsive as I am, and I don't take ish from anyone, I looked at her and I said, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. And I walked out, got in my car, and drove home. And that was it. I had no savings. I had nothing to my name. I didn't know how I was going to survive. But in that moment, I said I would never work for another human being ever again. Never. And I said that out loud, and I prayed over it, and I cried over it, and I went to Fashion Week with the little money that I had, and I sat front row because someone forgot to show up for one of the shows, and they needed a filler, and they sat me front row. And I took a picture because I'm a little petty, and sent a picture to her and said, here I am front row 2 weeks after I left your job. Yeah, so I started reaching out to brands, and you know, I got my first big brand that I worked with was Aveeno. And at the time, I didn't even know anything about skincare, and they wrote me and were like, we have this gig for you. We think you'd be perfect for Aveeno. You're such an Aveeno girl. Would you like to work on this brand for us? And I was like, me? Like, you know, like you still get those moments where you're like, you and that, like these brands that you've watched on television since you were a child. And I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, how do I pick, what do I tell them my price is? I didn't know. I was like trying to figure out what my price is. I'm like, at this point, I was going to pay $10 per post if I ever get paid. And they pitched me the amount they were going to pay me, and I fainted. Like, I was like, what? I can pay my rent. What? Are you serious? There's no way they're going to pay me that much money. And at the time, I thought, wow, this could be financially lucrative. I sat down that night after I got the Aveeno deal, and I wrote down my eventual goals with my brand and what I wanted to do with it. And I thought the first step for me was to turn it into a brand. Instead of a blog, I need to turn Specs and Blazers itself into a brand where other brands will come at me thinking they're coming at another brand instead of a blogger. Does that make sense? Like, I'm the talent behind my brand, but I had to build it into a brand. So I started hiring people, still with no money. I started out with interns, and I just said, listen, I need to turn this into an empire, and you want to come along on this ride because I know that's going to be something huge one day. So if you believe in it with me, we can do this together. And it just became, once it's, you know, your reputation precedes you. And for me, my reputation in the blogging world, at least I like to believe, is that I have an insane work ethic. If a brand writes me and wants me to do something for them, I first give them a draft of what I'm going to do for them and what I think I can bring to the table. But not just that, they know that I will work around the clock to give them their best work yet. I cannot stand the bloggers to just do a flat lay and then post it and just say, I would tell the brand, I would say, can I turn this into a movie? Can I make a movie for you? You know? And that's what sets me apart. You have to find what sets you apart because your reputation always precedes you. Brands, PR companies know each other. They all know each other. So if you get into one PR company, you give them your best work yet. There are times, there was a brand that I work with, a hair brand, that I spent more money putting out that campaign than they paid me. But then guess what? They took me to Sephora. Through them, I've scored 4 more campaigns working for Sephora, and now I'm like in with Sephora. So sometimes, like I said, this is my hourglass. I use this to contour. I've said this many times for you guys, you have to work for free. We're all broke, okay? There's no one that's not broke. We're all broke, we're all poor, but you have to be able to work for free. You have to be able to discern and know which companies are worth making that sacrifice for, where you're like, okay, you know what? I have to work for free. And yeah, so that's how I got started, and I just kept going. The thing about blogging, once you start, you cannot stop. Meaning, you don't take a day off. We don't work a 9 to 5. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna just take a week off and not post. Your followers will drop you like it's flies, okay? They will be gone. You have to post every single day. Instagram is not in our favor right now, unfortunately, for bloggers, but you still have to post every single day. They have to know that you're alive. And not just that, I think for me, with Specs and Blazers, I say this, my followers are not my followers, they're my family. I treat them as such, you know. They are my little family. I respond back to every single message. And so, of course, when I get campaigns, they are supportive. They're happier for me than I'm happy for myself. The way I made it lucrative, the way I turned it into like a full-time job, is to go hard on my outreach in the beginning. I would send out 100 emails a day to brands, and then when the brands respond, I would discern which ones I want to work with and which ones I don't. So I'm gonna go in with my Kat Von D. This is called the Golden, and I use it to set my under eye, just so I don't look oily all through the day, you know. But anyway, so yeah, you have to make a rate sheet. Once you start making money and blogging, make a rate sheet. And your rate sheet is pretty much something that you make to tell brands, this is how I get paid, you know, per Instagram, per blog, per YouTube, whatever platform you're on, make a rate sheet for it. I've said this many times and I'm gonna keep saying it. If at any point you decide that you're gonna do this for money, it's never gonna work out, ever, like ever. The moment that you decide that, oh, I'm just gonna go into blogging because, oh my god, they get so much free stuff and it's so cute to be a blogger and you get to get invited to these things, you're gonna fail, inevitably. It's so important to have a voice and have a strong voice. I know I have examples like Crystal Williams and the Song of Styles. Those girls have a strong voice on social media, and people respond to when you have a strong voice. They respond better to that. But yeah, once you feel like you can turn it into something that's financially lucrative, then you can make a rate sheet. Then you have to make a media kit, and you have to start pitching yourself. And you know, I think for me, it's just passion. I'm passionate about what I do, and it kind of fell to me. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I didn't go out there looking to be a blogger. It happened to me. And I think that's the most natural way for things to happen. Like, it happened to me. I didn't go look for it. I didn't plan on being a blogger at any point in my life. I never even knew that was a thing. It just happened, and when it happened, I was very, very, very happy and very lucky. Now, with that being said, once you decide that you're going to be a blogger and it starts happening for you, you definitely have to have an end goal, because it doesn't last forever. Influencer world will come to an end at one point, just like magazines have come to an end. It's going to come to an end at one point. So for me, you know, I want to have my own sunglasses line. I want to do motivational speaking. I have all these other goals that I want to do, and being an influencer is just a step towards that. So you really, really have to have an end goal, but you have to build a team around you that can help you get to that end goal. There's no formula to what we do, you know. There's no recipe. There's nothing. We're kind of just like doing trial and errors. We try things. If it's an error, we know how to do it again. So with that being, so there's no. I get all these questions in my inbox. So what is it? What is the recipe? What's the recipe? There's none. You try it. It's a lot of hard work. It's preparation, and you have to be at the right place at the right time to meet the right people, and that's that. So I'm gonna go in with my Marc Jacobs. I'm gonna go in with this one first, this nude as a base. I only put nude on my face because I don't know how to do any other color. But yeah, you guys, you don't need money to start your blog. I think everyone just thinks like, I'm gonna wait till I have money. You're gonna be waiting forever if you keep telling yourself you're gonna wait. You don't need any money at all to start. You just start. I used to just ask people on the street to take pictures of me, and then stalk them to get my pictures so I can post it on my Tumblr. Yeah, you guys, don't take this video and try to do it literal and do the same thing I'm doing. Everyone has a different path to success, but I will say, find your niche. There's always a hole in every marketplace. Every single marketplace. The most complaints I see on Instagram with influencers is the market is too oversaturated. There's no room for me. That's not true. Yes, it is oversaturated, but there is room for everybody. There's a hole in every marketplace. find that hole and capitalize on that hole. Does that make sense? So for me, I realized the hole in the marketplace was luxury fashion for Black women. It does not exist. So I capitalized on it. There's a hole in every marketplace. Figure out what that hole is and capitalize on that hole. If anything, what I would suggest is to like collaborate with new bloggers when you first start. Other bloggers, collaborate so you guys can share your followers. Does that make sense? So collaborate with them. Like find a blogger that's trying to do something the same thing you're doing and take a couple pictures together. And I just put a little bit of my MAC cheeky bronze to highlight my nose and my cheekbones. But yeah, I hope this all made sense. I just wanted to like chit chat with you guys. I didn't really have a plan on how this is gonna go, but you guys, just at the end of the day, hard work trumps everything. So just blend in my highlighter. I love this highlighter. I think I showed it to you guys, right? It's the MAC cheeky bronze. It just really gives you a cheeky bronze. You like that? You like that? Okay, I'll stop now. Ooh, we gotta go. I have to hurry. I'm gonna do my lips now. I use the Kat Von D crucifix to line my lips because I like to do this fake ombre lip that I do. Do you guys want to see my morning beauty routine? I think I should make a morning beauty routine for you guys. So I use this e.l.f. makeup mist and set. It's $3 from Target to set everything before I finish my mascara and my lips. Okay, that way it doesn't get messed up. Oof. Oof, dripping. So I let that sit for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I was all over the place, but I just really wanted to talk to you guys about blogging and just not giving up on your dreams. And if you really want to be a blogger, it is definitely possible. And there is, yes, a lot of money in blogging, but don't do it for money. Do not do it for money. But enjoy that money, girl, when it does start coming in. Enjoy it. Take yourself on a vacation. And then I go in with the Victoria's Secret Metallic Glow. And mascara. I don't know where this is from. It's called the Lash Paradise Voluminous. Oh, it's L'Oreal. Okay, so it's a drugstore makeup as well. I don't know how much it costs, you guys, but it's L'Oreal. I just put a little mascara on. I can't wait for you guys to come on this journey with me and keep growing my YouTube. And I am actually putting a huge giveaway together for you guys. Really, really big one when we hit 150 subscribers. So tell your friends to subscribe, okay? I don't know what's going on and why we're not growing on YouTube, but we're gonna get there. My mama did not raise a quitter, so we're gonna keep going and we're gonna grow and we're gonna get the YouTube popping. So this is my look for the day, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I believe in you. I hope you always believe in yourself. Stay fabulous. And don't forget to check out apartment 2B for this mirror. They have many more stuff if you don't like this mirror on their website. I love you guys and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.